Someone spent $30,000 on prop firm challenges in 1 month and they didn't pass phase 1 on any of the challenges. The high failure rate of prop firm challenges have become a big topic on YouTube and social media, and it should be. But in my opinion, it's misleading for serious traders. In this video, I want to discuss why the failure rate may not be important depending on who you are and why it can deter you away from something that can help your trading career. Prop firms don't publicly share the failure rate on their website, but the CEO of the funded trader has been pretty open about the failure rate.
Probabilities, we put out the stats, like the probabilities of them passing phase 1 is like 35%, phase 2 is like 40%, like getting an actual payout is like 15%. Like the odds are definitely pretty low. And I've been pretty open about this.
Based on what he said, if we do the math, out of 100 people, only 2 people pass, which is around 2%. Yes, that is very low. I commend him for sharing this. I think that regulators should require prop firms to publish their pass rate stats, just like regulated US brokers have to share the stats around how many people lose money, which is generally around 80%. We still don't know how many of the remaining 20% make a sizable income. I would assume that only a small portion of those make money that they can live from. But even if the prop firm stats were published, just like the tobacco warning on the cigarette box, I don't think it will stop people from trying before they are ready. One of the founders of the Smart Funded Trader published that in the first week of them launching, 400 accounts were blown in phase 1. And here's the thing, they have unlimited time, which hints at something interesting. Here's why I think the failure rates are misleading. Some say it's the rules, some say it's because people are gambling. Here are my thoughts on why. It will be a shock to some and a relief to some people. I believe it's the same for people who struggle to make consistent money without prop trading. A representative from TradingView published a presentation that estimated that unregulated brokers make around $7 billion annually from B-booking traders. Prop firms make a portion of this from failed challenges, but this is not about prop firms. This is a reflection of a greater problem within the industry at large. And this is discussed in an article from SMB Capital, a reputable prop desk with a traditional prop firm business model. Here are 5 reasons why they say people fail in the trading industry. Listen closely and you'll see why I think the stats can potentially be misleading for serious traders. Now, I know you're watching this channel because you're serious, so I'm talking to you. They say that 95% of the people that apply to trade at their prop firm are turned down. This means that if we go back to the 100 people example, where only 2% of the people got a payout, according to SMB, only 5 of those people would even have made it to the desk. This would decrease the failure rate by having a screening process. So if there was some sort of screening process before people paid their money, most of the people buying the challenges or depositing money into a broker wouldn't even qualify. This would act as a protection for the innocent people that are sold dreams. Now, number 2, most people are poorly trained. I've paid over $20K for education. I've trained with SMB. I've read over 40 trading books, and I've learned that most retail traders have probably only 10 to 20% of what they need to be successful at trading. They have no idea. They not only lack the standard knowledge of what trading is and how we make money, but many don't realize that professionals have on-site trading psychologists, on-site risk managers, and other systems that protect them from blowing accounts and taking risks that they shouldn't take. Number 3, many don't have the passion for trading and cannot sustain the energy needed to improve daily. Unfortunately, the dream of Lambos, traveling, and financial freedom are sold like a red pill to the average person by marketers. I was even under the impression when I originally started learning that trading was easy, but I soon learned that many people that preach that it is just easy are only selling courses and marketing. However, there is a saying in the trading community that most of the money you'll make will be easy money, right? Meaning that you waited, the market gave you clear signs of your A setups and you just had to pull the trigger. But trading is hard. It takes skill and takes continuous work in order to remain profitable. And the market changes from year to year. So it takes experience in order to adapt to different market conditions. Now, number 4, the learning curve is too difficult. Trading takes more work than most people anticipate. It requires deliberate practice, review, and adapting. I have hours and hours of film that I review to sharpen my trading skills, to refine my edge. And I've gone to performance coaches, and I spent hours, especially in the beginning, honing the skill, right? And it is the hardest thing that I've ever done. I've worked as an engineer for 12 years at the highest level. I've learned some very hard skills, but this has been the most challenging one. But the great news is, Mike Bellafiore writes in his book that if traders can survive the 2 to 3 year learning curve, then most will be okay after that. Now, think about how many beginners buy challenges and they get stuck in the loop of trying to gamble their way through all 3 phases. I've received hundreds of DMs where people are asking me to pass their challenge for them, or saying they're in phase 2 and they need help. And I asked, how did they get through phase 1? And they honestly say they just gambled their way. It was luck, right? So most of these people that are just starting out, they probably won't make it over the long run, and they're included in the failure rate, right? And I'm mentioning this because many of you who watch this channel, you're serious, you're dedicated, and I want us to escape the stats by continuing to work at the skill. We need to give ourselves time, sometimes years, in order to hit some of our goals. Now, the 5th one is surprising, and many of us think about this and ask ourselves this question. He says that some people are just not good enough. This is a reality. Just like any other sport, it takes skill. Trading takes mental skill, and you have to continue to work at it, and you have to refine these skills. And he says that some people never become good enough before they fail, before they quit. And I want to say to you that you don't have to be amongst those that quit. You can become good enough. You can train, you can work hard, you can get into the right community, you can get the right education. And if you get around the right mentorship and around the right community, you can become good enough to be successful, but it may take time. So if you're going to earn 13% in an unlimited amount of days, you have to be skilled enough to trade a series of trades with a rising equity curve. That's it. Anyone can gamble on phase 1 and the stars may align and they gamble on phase 2, but the payout, that 2%, that 2 to 3% that get the payout and get consistent payouts, those are the people which I believe are amongst the 5% that would have probably made it through the door originally, as he mentions in his article. So I think the failure rate is misleading, because if you look at the 5 points that they made in the article, the first part of it is that 95% of the people shouldn't even be taking the challenges or depositing their money into a live broker. So now, if you weed out those people, and now you have the 5% that should be there, that are qualified to take the challenge, I think that if you say 2 out of 5, that's a higher win rate. Those that have proper training and education, those that have honed the skill, those that have learned how to grow an account with a rising equity curve. If you look at the Discord of many of these prop firms, you'll see that there are people in the Discord that are consistently making money. Once you put in the work, once you have the right tools, the right process, the right training, and you learn how to grow an account with a rising equity curve, you can pass these challenges and you can get consistent payouts trading the accounts conservatively. So if you're currently blowing money on challenges, take a step back and evaluate yourself based on the 5 things that I mentioned. One CEO recently said that someone spent $30,000 on prop firm challenges in 1 month, and they didn't pass phase 1 on any of the challenges. I don't know this person, and no disrespect, but obviously he was not qualified. He was in that not qualified category. With the free repeat, the 14-day extension, and the fact that the challenge doesn't start until you take a trade in both phases, means that if you're skilled, the odds are in your favor, because you can be very selective about the market, about the season that you take challenge in. I believe that innocent people lose money because of the predatory nature of the industry. They don't understand what it takes. But with the rise of no time limit challenges, I think that it'll be easier for a lot of people. But it's surprising because people are still gambling. So if you're serious, 13% over unlimited days. When I mean by 13%, you have 8% in phase 1, 5% in phase 2. For serious traders, 13% over an unlimited amount of days is very well achievable. So my message to you is focus on the skill first. Focus on being able to grow an equity curve through setups that have good R&R and win rate. This is not a sprint. I've been working carefully on my first 100K withdrawal in a month. I've been getting consistent payouts, taking care of my family, and I've been reinvesting portions of my payouts into more accounts. If you're curious on how you can join those that can pass and get consistent payouts, watch my docu-series to get a glimpse into the system that I built around my trading. Please like and subscribe to watch the docu-series. Click this video.